instead of talking about certain ways which we can follow to accomplish something, आज मैं आपसे कुछ एक स्टोरी शेयर करना चाहता हूं जो कि मेरी स्टोरी है, बट नॉट मेरे ऊपर है, बट इट इम्पैक्टेड मी। और जब ये हुआ था तो उसने मेरे को अंदर से झिझोड़ दिया था अबाउट व्हाट हैपेंस इन द कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड। सो दिस इज प्रॉब्ली लाइक 2015 और 16 की बात है शायद, दैट I had a person who was doing a great job, and this was one of the best days that going out there and informing somebody that you've been promoted was like an amazing thing. It's like the entire dopamine hit hota tha. So I'm ready and I'm saying, okay, I'm just going to go and in this account, this guy used to work in a particular account in Sydney. So I said I'm going to go and tell him that he's been promoted to senior manager. So I went there and I reached the client office. I'm waiting downstairs and he said he'll come in about 10-15 minutes because there's a meeting finishing. So sure, I'm sitting there having my coffee, and then eventually 15 minutes later this guy comes, and he's like a very structured guy, very straight thinker, simple thinker and structured thinker. So, and that was the reason. So we started talking, normal chit chat, and then he gave me a entire dump of what is happening at the customer end and what's the plan and all those kind of things. So by that time he was working for me for about maybe 9 months or so. ऐसे कुछ टाइम हुआ होगा, 9-10 महीने हुए होंगे. And finally, I'm like, I need to tell him that hey, you've been promoted, but I have to like dramatize this. So I say, I want to tell you that in the entire time period, the sense of responsibility that you have conveyed is amazing. Because of you, we have been able to get into areas which in the client side, which we wouldn't have been able to get in without you. So I just want to tell you that we have decided to promote you and you're a senior manager now. Now I told this expecting, I don't even remember what, but at least some happiness. But this guy, when I remember it today, I remember his face today. He just took a step back, and then before I knew it, the tears. And in my mind, I'm thinking happy tears, but I could see this pain. And then he just bows down his head and he cries. I don't know for how long, maybe a few minutes or whatever it is. And I was shocked to the core. I was shocked. So, and I'm embarrassed also, like in a public place. What have I said? Is he getting fired? And it's just exactly the response you would expect if somebody's getting fired. Then he tells me a story, and that story just shocked me to core. I don't have the exact complete memory, but it's in the book. It's in my book, Play It Full. And I start with this story. Maybe I'll just refer to this. So he tells me that the very first time when when he was told that sorry, you're not going to get a promotion, he was not shocked because he had just joined the company. He had very little expectation कि उसका शायद promotion हो जाए because he was a blue-eyed boy. He was doing like great job. So he was like, you're doing amazing job, and the kind of contribution you made, you're really superb. So I'm just kind of referring to the book about exact, so that it is because the impact is in the truth of that. So he joined the company about 7 years back, and not the promotion time, the appraisal time, he was not given the highest level band because he was told that there are other people who are expecting a promotion. While you deserve it, we're not going to be able to give it to you because other people, they need it, otherwise they will not be promoted, which is a very weird logic that we used to have in that company, and other companies also do the same nonsensical thing. So it didn't make sense, but he accepted it as a part of corporate wisdom. So that's what happened. And a few months back, the promotions were announced, and those people got promotion. Now second year, he got that top bucket rating, and his manager said, "You're on your way up, man. You're amazing. Everything is phenomenal." And a few months later, when the promotions were announced, he had to choke back his tears because his name was not there. And he was not given a promotion because के 2 साल continuously same top bucket rating नहीं थी. The same rating that his manager had told that he deserved, but is not getting it because they have to give it to somebody else, became the blocker. And that time उसको बोला था उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. But policies change. That's how he missed it in the second year. So, jab, he was upset and he did mention that I should have left then, but I didn't because I was a top performer and I continued. So, third year में उसको बोला कि देखो तुम्हारी 2 rating top पे हैं, but the quota this year is very less, so you're not going to get it, and there are other people ahead of you who have been there for a long time. So he was really upset about it, and to compensate for it, he was given more money, and that he just kind of satisfied himself, I think 3-4% extra. And it just did seem like a good deal at the time, but he took it because it made sense, and he was a corporate guy. But what happened after that was shocking. In few months' time, his manager quit. And the new manager who came had a different standard. And when the appraisal time came, or rather when the appraisal time came, that because the manager had actually worked with him for a very short time, he gave him a second bucket. And you can guess what happened. At the time of promotion, he didn't get it. But by that time, he had lost all the hopes. He had fallen down to the clutch of mediocrity. ठीक है, I'm doing what I'm doing. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Let me be whatever. It's okay. Let me do it. So he stayed in that. And the other thing which I've written down here is that उसके जो मैनेजर ने उसको फीडबैक देना चालू कर दिया कि you don't speak up in meetings, you don't mix with people much, and he said you really don't know how to sell yourself. Look at this XYZ person, he sells himself so much better, and just kind of smash you on the face kind of feedbacks which managers give because they don't know any better. So gosh, I never got to know who his manager was, otherwise just go smash the person in the teeth. And the manager also did not consider that this guy was an introvert or he was an ace performer, but it just kind of gave him low rating. So when he moved to Australia, he was like, sure, let me just go and make some money because I'm anyway not going to get promoted. So the entire thing was that when I promoted him, he thought it was a favor, which was not at all a favor. I did not consider how much time he has spent on this band. He deserved the damn thing. He did make a huge difference to their account. He saw it as a favor. He saw me as a good guy who's doing this. And that's a shame. So इस वीडियो में मैं आपको यही पॉइंट करना चाहता था कि and I've written, it happened in 2015. And my allegiance with the company went down after that incident because it was like, is this the culture? Is this the environment? And I know a lot of people love that company and there are good elements along of it, but that entire fit the curve nonsense and all that stuff, it was such a shocking thing. And the worst thing is that it happens today as well. So, इस वीडियो में मैं सिर्फ एक ही अपील करना चाहता हूं to the managers, specifically to the managers, that don't be an ass. Actually take care of your people. And I know it's a freaking hard message on a social media like that, but seriously, take care of your people. You join a new team, it's your responsibility to find out who's amazing. I've had time in my career when somebody left my team and I promoted the person. After that, in my quota, because that was the only option. Or I gave them the highest band so that they get it next time. A lot of people do this, oh, I'll take care of my people. But what is my people? It's people who are working in your organization. So have that allegiance. Actually take care of people. Because these people's life, their respect also at times depends on what you do with them and what you say to them. In this person's case, his family started saying, are you actually any good? And he actually ran away from there to keep away from that, not to listen to that kind of a crap. So मेरी आपसे यही एक बहुत बड़ी गुजारिश है, दरख्वास्त है कि actually अपने टीम मेंबर्स की केयर करो. And बाकी लोगों के लिए who have been part of this kind of a journey, I do have a question to you, which is not again an easy question. Why the hell you are still staying in that environment? This person should have quit, should have found a job outside, because the organization didn't deserve him in like year 3 or 4. And it will not be like, oh, you gave up the fight and you ran away. It is the right thing to do, because your interaction and your exchange with the company, it's an exchange of value. People work in the company, you work in a place, you get paid whatever money you get paid, but you're providing about 10 times more value, or maybe actually 100 times more value. So you deserve something good, you deserve that, and you deserve to be heard. And I don't want to make it like a big thing about, I'm making a big thing, but I don't want to make it about like, become a rebel. I mean, at least, understand when some things are happening to you in your life, something is happening, understand it and take actions then only. Do not then, regret it or come to a point where a promotion looks like a favor to you. Do not do that to yourself. Do not, and these are the things which make normal people fall into the clutch of mediocrity. An organization is not going to take responsibility for it. You're going to have to take responsibility of your career. So I hope that it's not too challenging and conflicting and rebel kind of thing, but I wanted to share this story. I poured it out in the book where I wrote it in 2019, and I still remember the emotions that I had about it, and I still remember the anger that I got, and that was a foundational point, turning point for me to say, I'm not going to be working for these guys anymore. It did take me a long time to get off, because sometimes when you know the facts, even then आप निकल नहीं पाते, क्योंकि आपके पास भी बिल पेमेंट करना है, ये सब करना है, उस तरह के limitations होती हैं. But you know what? This has been me speaking from my heart and feeling it in here. Comment. Let me know what you think about it. Share with people who can actually gain from it if they have those experiences. I hope that some manager listened to it and they change some things inside them. And I hope people look at it and say, I'm not going to change who I am for sake of what I can get. People listen to it and say, I'm not going to give up on my values, or I'm not going to be basically secondary, or I'm not going to be treated badly. Have fun, guys.